Yo, what's going on? How's everybody doing today? You know what day it is, you know what time it is, and you know who we are. I'm Damien.
And I am Jamie, y'all.
And we are known as Marriage is Real.
So we just thought we'd just jump on tonight and just have a powwow, a chit chat with our peoples. And I know I'm checking my phone because Facebook be tripping on us, and we don't be getting our Facebook messages on here. So I'm trying to. Oh, what happened? Trying to make sure I don't miss anybody's comments.
And we literally just finished doing a podcast with our BS3 family,
Yes.
Queen 3 and King.
Yes.
We had a great time with them tonight. We always want to shout them out and tell them how grateful and appreciative we are of them asking us to be on the platform with them.
So y'all go check them out. It's Queen 3 and King.
And I'm
on the BS3 network. Bless you, on the BS3 network. So, hey y'all, how's your week been? How was your weekend? Was it? No, 4th of July was last weekend. I was gonna say, how was your 4th? But that was last
Are y'all still eating barbecue?
It gets, you can only eat that for so long, and then it starts getting dry after a while. Like after you get 2 days, it's like, okay, no more barbecue. I'm done with barbecue.
That's not me. I don't like wasting food. So anytime we got a lot of food, I try to make it a personal goal of mine to see how much of the food that you can consume so that it doesn't go bad.
Well, have fun with that.
Yeah.
Have fun with that.
So that's what I do. I like doing that.
So tonight, you want to go ahead?
Please,
go ahead and introduce
the
topic.
Queen Latifah, ladies first.
So tonight we're going to be talking about looking within yourself. Y'all see how I had to say that? But no, we're going to be talking literally about looking within yourself. Look at you. Can you see you? I.e. blind spots. Do you know when you tripping? You know what I'm saying? Can somebody tell you, when you doing something? Do you listen to people? Are you still teachable? All of the things.
And before we get into that conversation tonight, if everybody's that's joining us, if you would please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're really trying to get our post and our boost and followership up. So if you could go follow us, subscribe on YouTube, and then also check us out on Instagram at Marriage is Real. We would definitely appreciate that.
Thank you guys. And tonight we're not going to be on here long. We just definitely wanted to pop in, say hey to our people, to our viewers. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you. Yes. You're welcome once. You're welcome twice. You're welcome three. You're welcome 3 times. You are welcome. Y'all know, I used to love when they said that at church. I don't know why.
That's why you say that.
I do. But I used to love when they said that at church. I don't know. The first time I heard that lady said, I was like, oh, that was clean.
Because the third welcome meant something. The second and third welcome meant something special.
And the third, it was the third.
It was the third, not the first or the second. It was the third one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got to be welcome. You know what I'm saying? Because you do that A and B selection, but then you get that A, B, you get that C selection. If the choir real good, you looking forward to that C selection. So anyway.
So thank you for joining us again tonight on Marriage is Real, Monday on Tuesday. That's what I always call it.
Marriage Monday on Tuesday.
Marriage Monday on Tuesday. Yeah. So thank y'all for tuning in, or on the podcast, because this is audio. If you're tuning into the video, that's great, but this is for audio consumption.
It's visual audio.
There you go. I like that, visual audio. So let's get right into the conversation for tonight. So one thing that we've noticed in our nearly 24 years of marriage is that sometimes we have this perception of ourselves and how we think we are based on the things that we do and the effort that we're putting into something that we may not have necessarily arrived or conquered. Mm-hmm. And then we filter everything through that, thinking that we've done what we think we've made it through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, you said we've done what we think we made it through?
Yes, we've already finished what we thought we were doing. Like, for example, if you're cooking a meal and it's like, you giving me this cake that's not completely done, but you telling me it's cake. It hasn't, you in your mind, it's a cake, but it ain't baked long enough for it to be a cake.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So what is it? An undone cake?
It's an undone cake. Yes, that's what
but
I said.
I'm still telling you it's a cake. So
yeah.
It's a cake. It's just it's a cake at a different degree. It's not
right
at the level of what
all
you
the
wanted,
ingredients are there for a cake, but it hasn't been through the process yet to be an edible cake.
See, but you make it you identifying it as an edible cake. You just said cake. See, it's different. That's how I'm saying that because that's what I mean. What we talk about seeing yourselves, because your intent and your
right. That's
what you think is a cake.
Right.
You saying it ain't a cake, but I'm like, it's still a cake.
It's a cake.
It just ain't a cooked cake. But you didn't say a cooked cake. You just said a cake.
A cake.
You know?
A cake nonetheless. I opened it out the box and now it is put in the oven cake.
Right.
And so many times we think that we have done something that we haven't done, or we're working our way through it, but we just haven't made it through it yet.
Right.
And so when you're with the right person, figuring out that person that you're with really can see you better than you can see yourself sometimes. So like another example is if you're walking through the house and I see you have a gecko on the back of your shirt.
I don't even like that example. I can't stand them things. They gross me out.
And so I'm walking up to you and saying, baby, don't move. You got a gecko on the back of your shirt. And you telling me, no, I don't. No, I don't. For her, that's a blind spot.
Right.
She has no idea that there's a gecko on the back of her shirt because she can't see that. She can't see behind her.
Right.
Or this is one of my real good examples, my favorite examples. I'd be like, ooh, you so fine. I'd be like, ooh, she fine. And she'd be like, I just don't see it.
I don't
see it. I'm like, girl, turn. Then you know the old school cat, turn around, girl. And you spin around. I spin around, like, girl, look at you, just look at you.
See,
and she'd be like,
see, that's the most right there. That seems fake. That's why I surely ain't gonna see it. Shoot. But yes. Oh, hey, Nee.
Hey, Nee, you came in early today. What's going on, fam? Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you. Thank y'all for joining us. But yeah, so like to your point, when you saying all that, I don't see what you see.
Right. And that's sometimes it's the perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's just having a different perspective of things. That could be good or that could be bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because a blind spot could be one or the other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Absolutely. But being with the right person, they're going to help you. They're going to help you to see things about yourself that you can't see. Now, let me say this. It's very important to understand that you know that your spouse has goodwill towards you, that this person isn't necessarily trying to manipulate you into doing something or being something that they want you to be. They really want to see you win. They really want to see you be your best self. They want to see you to succeed in certain things in your life. So they're telling you these things because look, you already fine. You know what I'm saying? But if you do this right here, you're going to be finer.
Finer.
Yeah, you're going to be finer because I want to see you win with your fineness.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. What did he say, Jamie? You can't see me. I can see you in my mind's eye. See, blind spots. See, I can look within, but yeah. So to your point with the blind spots, I think a lot of times too, it's just that people have a perception of what they feel like their reality is. So
you mean personal?
Okay. A person.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, when I'm saying something like, I don't do that, and you saying, yes, you do, but I can't see it because I have written my own story. I wrote the book, I published the book, so I'm reading my own press. But the to your point where you said, make sure that the person has goodwill towards you. If you can't accept it, it doesn't matter if the person has goodwill towards you regardless anyway, because you're still not gonna receive what they're saying.
So if they don't accept it, if they don't receive it, should you stop?
No, you shouldn't stop. No, you absolutely shouldn't stop, but you have to, I guess that depends on the patience of the other person. Are you going to keep going to ensure that they become their best selves, or are you going to get frustrated with the fact that I'm gonna stop telling her because she don't believe me, or she don't see it? Oh well, you know what? I just let her figure it out. I let him figure it out. I ain't gonna even worry about it. But that depends on the person on the other side of the dynamic as to how that issue or how that plays out, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a comment.
Okay, let's see. Nee Taylor. She says Brian sees me in a way that I don't see. I appreciate him, but I want to feel the way he sees me.
Yes, absolutely. Nee, I'm sorry. I always say this to him. I wish that I could see me the way that you seemingly see me. And I'm saying seemingly see because it's still hard for me to see me
how fine you is.
The way that he sees me. And I'll be like, what? I don't know. I'm just like, and you know how somebody could tell you, oh my God, you are so, you're such a great encourager, or you're such a awesome speaker, or you're such a caring person. And in your mind, you're like, I don't do that. I'm not like that at all. But we can't see how we affect and impact other people.
Right.
And I don't know what that is. It could come from hurts, pains, traumas, just a veil of maybe life, you know what I'm saying? Experiences. It could be one thing that somebody told you when you were 7 that just sticks with you forever. And it's hard for you to break free of that belief system that you've created for yourself. Mm-hmm. You was going to say something?
Yeah, but I forgot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I totally agree with what you're saying. So much of what we deal with comes from things that have happened in our lives. We have a member in our family that dealt with some trauma from a teacher. That this happened. This person is an adult now, but this happened when they were in like elementary school, and this teacher said some things to this person that have had a ripple effect. We've been saying ripple effect. It's a ripple effect for the last 17 or 18 years. Just based on this person that probably never even knows that they said anything or did anything that impacted them that way. But that can cause us to not be able to see when someone really, because the thing about it is, if a person really wants you to win, if they really want to see the best for you in your life, they're going to say those things, and they're going to be positive and encouraging. And just like you say all the time, being in the right relationship, married to the right person, that marriage and that relationship is supposed to be healing to you.
Right.
So, God will use that relationship that you're in to help to heal some of those past traumas.
Right.
We hear this all the time when you get out into, Instagram world and all these people. You hear people say, "Come to me healed. Come to me healed." Do you know that sometimes there are areas in your life that you don't even know that you need healing from? So how can you be healed from something that you don't even know that's there?
Right.
Sometimes people have what kind of bleeding? Internal bleeding. A person just bleeding down from their neck to their feet, and they don't even know. They just know, I feel weird. I feel funny. Something ain't right, but they don't know that they got internal healing. So being
internal bleeding.
What I said?
You said internal healing.
Oh, and thank you, baby. So you can't always be healed from something that you don't even know, because what happens a lot of time is when you've had those past traumas, you lock that stuff up, you lock it down, you push it away, you put it in a closet, and you don't even know that. And then one day you with that person that really wants to win, wants to see you win, and wants to help you to heal, and you say hot baloney. And that take you back to that closet that you had, and you open that door because hot baloney was that word. When you heard hot baloney, now it all come out.
Right.
But you can't be healed from that. You didn't know that hot baloney was your pressure point. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get you to stop.
I'm just saying, but
hot bologna really making me think about a fried bologna sandwich right now with them burnt edges and some. Okay, I'm gonna get off for that. But yeah, I agree.
But yeah, so you cannot be healed from something that you don't even know that's there.
Right. And that's why you have to be able to see those blind spots, check them blind spots, because the thing is she's talking about yuck. Girl, that problem don't need to be off the chain. We all have patterns, we all have systems, we all have things that we do that we've been doing, that's a part of who we are, that's just how we rationalize things,
how we cope,
and that too. And I heard someone say, I can't remember who it was, but they said rationalize is the same thing as rational lies. You're lying to yourself, and you can rationalize why, you can justify the lie you're telling yourself because of this thing over here that happened. So it's like, if you tap me on my shoulder and then I get mad and I want to go to blows, or we arguing and you're like, what is going on? And I'm like, for me, that's abusive because you touch me. And you're saying, I just tapped you on your shoulder. Don't tap me, don't touch me, don't
I was just trying to get your attention because you didn't hear me calling your name.
Right. And everybody's saying to you, Jamie, you tripping, like it wasn't even a big deal. But in my mind, he hit me. So it's easy for me to rationalize how stupid or crazy I'm acting based on the system or my pattern that I have for myself. And we all have them. When something happens that if this person says something, even though people around may not know, nobody will ever notice it, but you knew that intimidated you, or you knew that hurt your feelings, or you knew you didn't like the way that they said that, but because of who I'm around or what we doing, or whatever the environment that we in, I'm gonna laugh, yeah, that's funny. But then later I'm gonna tell you, I didn't think that was funny, or I may not tell anybody, but I just know how that made me feel, because we all have our systems. We all know, even when we're trying to achieve a goal, at what point you get to, when you come up to this particular point, you usually stop. I know my stopping point. I know my stressors. I know when it's like, I don't know why I keep trying to do this. But I never get past this. Even when you lifting weights, I'll do good for about 2 months. And then at that 2 month and 1 week, I start falling off, and I ain't going as much as I am. If you get to 2 months and 1 week and you stop, press past your stopping point. That's what's going to create change and initiate change in our lives, because those systems and things that we create, I heard somebody say that your system is linked to an ecosystem, which means your husband got a system, your kids got a system, you have a system. And when you switch up, or when you start changing things, guess what that's going to mean? That's going to affect what they have to do too. Then a lot of times that's why people don't want you to change, is because it's not even about you changing. It's about the change I'm going to have to make because of your change. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. And so sometimes we just can't see, we can't see those things about ourselves, because we have told ourselves rational lies about why we do what we do and why we act like we act. Like if he tells me you are controlling, and I'm like, I ain't controlling. And it's like, you are controlling. And because this is what I say when he tells me stuff about myself, I say, give me an example. And I'm saying, I'm not trying to be funny, but if you don't see yourself, you don't know you're doing this. You don't know. Do you know how many times somebody is sitting down? They could be biting their nails, or they could just be playing with their hair. It's such a second nature thing that you don't even recognize that you're doing this. And so somebody said, you were just playing with your hair. I wasn't even touching my hair. You don't even know you do it. And if it could be something so small and something so tangible, then if it's something internal that you're doing as far as how you're treating a person, that's a possibility that you could really be doing these things. And they're telling you most of the time, hopefully out of love. Sometimes people tell you things out of spite. But as far as like marriage and relationships, if you've been with someone and you trust this person, consider the source. Is this a credible source? If it's somebody that don't know you, and they ain't good people, or they hating, or whatever the case is, maybe you don't always listen to what they say. But if it's a credible source, somebody who has been tried and true and tested, and they love you and you respect them and all of the things, and they're saying, you know, you got a temper. You can be a little irrational about things when, you know, this and that happens. For you to say, I don't do that, see, you don't see yourself. And you're not even trying to look within to even be able to course correct in that area.
That's good. And I just want to go back to what you just said about lifting weights, because that is a very good indication of what we do for each other in a relationship. Because you might go to the gym and lift weights, and then you may not push yourself as much as you need to be pushed in order for you to get to become your best self. So that's why you have something called like a spotter, or you have someone that is going to hold you accountable to help you to become your best self. Because as we well know, growth can be painful. And whenever you're starting to start lifting weights and everything like that, it gets hard. Like you might lift weights real good, and then 2 days later you sore, because what happens when your muscles are growing, there is little tears. There are little tears that are happening in in the fibers so that the muscles can grow. So what could be happening when you're with someone that's challenging you in who you are, because they can see past what you can see, because again, you can't see yourself. I'm going to challenge you in areas that I can see, okay, this is an area that she may not know that she may need improvement in, but let me help and encourage her in this area so that she can see that she can be better or her best self if she does these things. You see what I'm saying? So that's what a spouse is for each other. So that's why it's not, in our opinion, it's not realistic for you to be what they say you're supposed to be, come to me healed and all that, because sometimes the purpose, because marriage isn't just for you to have babies and go to work every day, it's to help each other out. So sometimes that's what you're going to do with your spouse, is you're going to help them out in those areas that they can't see that they need help. And then you said, when someone is telling you, when your spouse is telling you something, be willing to accept what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? Again, based on who this person is to you, based on who they are in your life, they're not trying to do nothing dirty or nothing foul to you. Take it for what it is. Like, yo, you do this. Like, okay, you play with your hair. I know I don't. Well, here are 5 pictures of you playing with your hair that you say that you don't do. Because I tell her all the time, she'll be like, what is that I be saying? I said, you know, you ask me questions repeatedly. And then she's like, no, I don't. I said, so, you know, when I say, when I say, you know, you just asked me that question, right? And she like, no, I didn't. I said, yeah, you literally just asked me, did you take the trash out? Yeah, baby, I took the trash out. 10 minutes later, did you take out the trash? You know, you just asked me if I took the trash out. No, I didn't. You literally just asked me that. So just remember, except when that person is telling you these things, accept what they're saying.
But the key to that too, like when you say, one of the things that made me recognize that I was doing it is because you said, how many times do I say, you know, you just asked me that, right? So when he says that, I'm like, he does say that a lot. So that was a trigger for me to look within and say, well, maybe I am asking him the same question, because he does say that to me a lot. You know, you just asked me. And I'm like, no, I didn't. But why is somebody going to say you just asked them something if you didn't just ask them something?
And sometimes there's so much that goes on in our heads. It's like you're thinking about 13 things, and it's like, and again, sometimes you're on autopilot, so you don't even realize that you said what you said, because they tell me all the time, Daddy, did you do such and such? No, I do that. Yeah, you did. Oh, okay. But I'm always thinking about different things.
See, for him, he has to watch his facial expressions, because so many times people will ask him, why are you looking like that? And he'd be like, looking like what? You don't see yourself.
And I'm not even here. I am not even here. I'm not even in the conversation that y'all are having. It may have just came in my ears and I ain't realized.
He does not, because he's one of those people that he can't lie, because he wears everything going on in his head. He wears it on his face. So I just be like telling him, I just don't like fake stuff.
That's all. I ain't for the fake. I just ain't. Let's hit a couple of these comments.
Okay.
Nee Taylor said, that's good advice. My advice of hers. Now I was playing.
Mine.
And then Artura said, rationalize, say that, Jamie.
Hey, Artura, thank you, girl.
She stole that from Bishop Jakes, Artura. No,
that was not Bishop. It was somebody. Well, I did plagiarize, but I had to run that back.
You got
See,
some
we
more
got
comments?
some comments over here. Doc talking about defensive right off the bat. Oh, he also said, wow, that's a good word. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for coming back. I don't know why my Facebook comments don't come up on stream. I don't know what the deal is, but
tech support.
I will say this too, like in marriage, you're gonna have like failures. That's just a part of it. You're gonna fail that person gonna fail you, or whatever the case may be. But the one thing I will say about that is failures are our greatest teachers, because when you don't see yourself and you have those blind spots in an area, you may have failed in this area because you didn't see it. Don't beat yourself up, like you said earlier. Just kind of lean into it and take what they're saying at face value.
Right.
Because if you're with someone that you don't trust,
that's a whole other
what they're saying.
Yeah.
You don't trust what they're saying.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be real hard for you to see yourself or even grow past where you are, because this person can't tell you anything based on the fact that you don't trust what they're saying.
Right.
So you just kind of like in this vicious cycle of like nothingness. I hate to say it that way, but as far as growing spiritually, growing personally inside that relationship is going to be hard to do if you don't have any trust for what that person is trying to tell you to help you see yourself. And go ahead.
And I was going to say, and also let me say this: if let's say you've been with this person for an extended period of time, and that may have been their MO before, let them go. Let them go out of the box of how you've always dealt with them, or when she said this is what she meant. But this is the thing though. Are you seeing a change in their patterns?
Right.
Are they talking different? Are they saying things differently? Are they encouraging you now? Because sometimes you've been with somebody that may have done that in the past, but they may not be doing that now. But because that person became a trauma and a trigger for you, you still treat them and talk to them and think that what they're saying is with motive, and it may not be.
Right.
So let if you see that person being different, if you see that person changing, give them grace to let them know, hey, I see your effort, I see what you're doing, and I know you really want me to be my best self.
Right. And when he said let them go, he meant like let them outside the box. Because you said if they used to do that, let them go.
No, like, then I thought I said after that, let them out the box. I repeated what you said.
But I'm just saying.
I didn't mean like the voice saying no.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. That is a huge thing with marriage, y'all. We do not, and I'm saying we because I am in the number. You hear me?
Me too.
We do not let our people, our spouses, our other person out the box, even in the dynamic of a friendship. But this is the thing. If you're still thinking that someone is the same from 10 or 20 years ago and they still are, that's a problem. Number one, I don't really even think I'm gonna still be associated with you. But also knowing that just like this person has changed and they want to be let out the box, so do you. Because if you're the same person you was 10 years ago, that's a problem. I'm not the same. And then I think the thing is that we have to realize in a marriage, like I can say this, and people I've heard it said, you shouldn't have a vow renewal or get married again because that's a waste of money. No, it's not. And I'm gonna tell you why I say it's not. I know
what you're gonna say.
Because
say it, girl. Say it.
This man and this woman, we not the same people that got married 24 years ago.
Not at all.
So when I renew these vows, I'm renewing this vow as a renewed person with a renewed mind. So renew the vows. Don't just be, renewing people renew vows just so to be cute. Oh, we ain't never had no wedding, whatever. Y'all renew the vows, then y'all get divorced a year later. And you know what I'm saying? You could have saved that money, but if you're really different people. And that's the thing. I think that's the biggest key with marriage that people don't talk about is knowing how to pivot and adjust to who a person is now and stop trying to give them what they used to need. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not used to me. I'm not that used to be person. I'm not, Jamie Hicks, like even in my maiden name, I'm not that person anymore. I'm Jamie Johnson, 40 years old. 2 children later, you know, careers and all of this kind of stuff, all of these things, that stuff matters. I'm not the same person. And if you come at me with that same stuff, then you're going to be shocked that you're not going to get the same response. And another thing too is sometimes be grateful that that person is not the same, because that person back there would have went off on you, went upside your head, you know, would have been some bullets flying, would have been some furniture moving, you know what I'm saying? Some slash ties, some cut wrist throats, whatever the case is. But just knowing that you have to be able to know that that person is not the same. And again, to what you said, if they are showing themselves, prove that I'm not this person anymore. You're seeing changes. But if a person is changing and you still talking about stuff they did 10 years ago,
that's you.
It's you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. You got to look within yourself, because you may be harboring so much contentment, so much pain, so much hurt, contempt. Yeah. And you can't let them go. You can't let go of the hurt and the pain of what they did to you. But sometimes I feel like the reason people do that is because it's easier to hold on to this pain, to use this as an excuse for not moving forward, versus also looking at what you did. What you do.
That's a big blind spot.
Because it takes 2 people.
That's
a big blind spot.
Yeah.
It takes 2 people to destroy a relationship.
Yeah.
The destruction of a relationship ain't just one person. Even if the other person is like 90% worse than that, it still takes 2 people to make or break.
Right.
So, you know, take that stuff into consideration too. But a lot of times I think people hold on to those rational lies as an excuse to throw themselves a pity party and to act a fool and to do whatever they want to do and get everybody on their side for why. Look at what they doing to me.
Yeah. That was 1983.
Can we let that go, please?
Let's it's been about
and it's even worse
5 presidents since
if you're gonna stay there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then this person could have actually came back to you and apologized and said things.
Tried to make amends.
And you still talking about, well, I can't believe she did that to me. She told her mama my business when we was, you know.
Right. She set your curl on fire. You don't even got no curl no more.
Come on, y'all. We got and that's the thing about, and somebody's trying to tell you, okay, well then maybe they might be different. Maybe they're looking at it from a different perspective now. And you keep saying, no, they ain't. Well, then it might be you, because you don't see yourself. And that's what's one thing about it. Like when you look back at yourself on a video or somebody records you and you're like, that's how I look.
Yeah. I still remember that video. We went to a cabin. I think we've been married, 8-9 years?
It wasn't even that long. Baby boy was a baby. Jordan was a baby.
Was he?
Yes. Remember we was in Urban.
Ooh, it's an Urban?
Yeah, so we've told the story before, but we went on it was our anniversary. It might have been like 3 years, something like that. It was real early. 5. It was real early in our marriage. And so we went on this little vacation to get away from, you know, the hustle and bustle. There wasn't no TVs, nothing. And we were because he loved to fish and he loved all the outdoor stuff, and I would rather be on the beach. But you know, you gotta be a team player, take one for the team. So anyway, we in this little boat canoe thing, whatever, and we took our camcorder, because back then, that's how long ago it was. We had the actual VHS camcorder, and we were recording each other. And so, you know, at the time, you don't see yourself. You're just going through doing what y'all do, how we do it. We get back home and we watched the video back. Probably a month later. It was a while later. It was sometime later. We watched the video back, and we were stunned.
Yeah, we
were literally
more
shocked.
Me than her.
And the thing is, my mama had told me before this happened. She was like, and his mama too. She was like, y'all gotta stop playing like that. Y'all shouldn't talk to each other like that, or you know, whatever. We like, he don't be doing that. And my mom was like, well, sometimes when he say this, Jamie, it do sound a little hard. And I'm like, Mama, he don't. I don't care about that. You know, whatever, because we didn't see. We didn't see ourselves, and we were younger. Yeah. So we watching this video back, y'all. Disgusted.
I had to turn it off.
And he was like, I can't watch this no more. I don't want to see this. And I'm like, I just can't believe. In my mind, I'm thinking, I can't believe I'm letting you talk to me like this. but the reality was, I'm going tit for tat with him. And I'm like, is this how people see us? do we really talk to each other like this? Like it was
bad.
bad, y'all. And it was just him and I. So it wasn't like no fronting.
No.
It wasn't like we was, stunting for the gram or kicking it for company. It was just me and him. I'm just saying that. But it was just him and I. So we look back and we're like, oh, that's ugly.
Yeah.
That is not. And we had a son. So it's like, we got to be mindful of what we're doing, because of what he's going to see. Like that, it could almost be perceived as toxic. It was ugly.
It was toxic.
It was real bad.
It was toxic-ish.
Toxic-ish.
And he said, my kids and I are the same way. Everything shows.
Oh,
on my face.
Lord.
Hey.
But those are genuine people. You can't lie.
Yeah, keep it 100.
You can't lie.
Mika said, Jamie, you preaching. Yes,
Hey,
ma'am.
Mika, thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. We just finished doing a podcast with them and they supporting right back.
Don't
That's
forget, Queen 3 King, y'all. But yeah, so just,
Tuesdays at 7.
Being able
Central.
Right.
Dawkins.
But that's real, y'all. Just being able to pivot is, and Dawkins said pivot is a big word. Love it. But yeah, just being able to really look within yourself, see yourself. And sometimes that is the hardest thing to do because we can't see ourselves.
Right.
All we can see is what we see in the mirror. But even that is a reflection, but it's not the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody else, the others on the other side, their optics are going to be the truth of what it really is.
Right. And I think one of the biggest things that keeps us from seeing ourselves, and is probably, if not the biggest, one of the biggest blind spots, is our egos.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I was gonna
Ego,
say?
yeah. Ego.
Our egos, and it's not just, I ain't gonna lie, man. We have very big egos. He got a real big ego.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that song?
I love that song too.
But that's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Your ego will keep you blind. Your ego will stop you from seeing and hearing the truth about pretty much everything. And it's not just based on gender.
Right, because ego and pride work hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
It really does. And sometimes I think for women, it can be an ego thing, but I think a lot of times for us, it's more our pride. Like, I ain't gonna let him know.
So let me
I ain't gonna tell him that.
Let me ask you this, because I see this on TikTok and Instagram all the time about it's this thing that says me when God tells me I gotta apologize to my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that it's such an issue for women to be accountable for when they mess up or when they drop
I think it's
the ball?
because we've been taught. I think it's because society has taught women to be that you're the ones. He chases you. He does all of these things. You're the woman. He needs to treat you this way. He needs to be this way about you, and so on and so forth. And I understand chivalry. I absolutely understand that. I understand that women, we do want to be chased. Absolutely. But that can do a disservice to some young ladies if you're not being taught also what part you played in that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why sometimes it's hard to apologize, because you're so used to them initiating all of the things. But what happens when he don't initiate no more?
Mm-hmm.
We ain't talking for 3 days, and you usually come be like, babe, I don't want to, I don't like us not talking. When I know I was the chief cause of the reason why we not talking, but I'm waiting on you to apologize. And
I think, and I think that's something that needs to become more of a norm in our culture is accountability.
That piece.
As men, kind of from the old school, we're taught about accountability, but we've got to start teaching our young women and our young men about what accountability is. It's something that's kind of a staple in the male community.
Right.
But accountability is something that because it goes so far.
Right.
There are a lot of men that are out here that are hurting, and they're sad, and they're disgusted. And it's like, and
they don't have a safe place. They don't have an outlet to share that.
And they don't, and some of them talk to me. But the thing is, you don't know how much an apology, or I still know how it makes me and made me feel when she be like, you know what? That was me. I messed up. That was my bad. You know what I'm saying? Because
I used to choke on I'm sorry. I ain't saying that. Well, if you
wouldn't have did this,
if you felt that way, I apologize. But I mean, all you had to do was,
or if you took it that way,
right.
I guess I'm sorry.
Right.
That ain't no apology, y'all. if you felt that way, that's on you. But I apologize. I guess that's not an apology.
Right,
a sincere,
absolutely.
Heartfelt apology.
Right.
Because that's another part of ego, is that you can't admit that you're wrong.
Oh my God. And pride. You can't admit that you're wrong, and you won't ask for help. Because what happens is you've been so boisterous and so flamboyant about, I don't need nobody, and I'm this way, and I'm outspoken, and I'm all of these things. And so now what you need, or what what you're gonna have to do, is completely contrary to this this narrative that you've been waving.
This narrative that you because you're the one. So
you'll sit over there and suffer in silence.
Right.
And it's really sad.
So what do you think are some other blind spots? And we talked about ego. We talked about you can't admit that you're wrong. What do you think is another thing or place that people are missing it?
I think maybe the perception you have of the other person. Like you don't, like, I feel like sometimes, and I'm seeing this a lot with women, like you might get with this guy, or you might like him because you feel like you love him, or you feel like the way this man, he treats you so good and he make you feel so good, but you really don't have no respect for him. And that's a dangerous thing if you're a woman that doesn't have respect for a man, because again, you know how they say nice guys finish last. And it's not necessarily that the nice guy finishes last, but I think that sometimes nice guys get taken advantage of. I think their kindness can be taken advantage of. And like this woman, because she may have been hurt, she may have been through all of these things. So I'm really appreciative of the way that this man treats me. But I might think I'm better than you. I might think I'm smarter than you. I might think I make more money than you. So you may not respect him as much as you need to.
Is it if he made more money than you?
Not just that. I mean, it's not just the money piece. It's other things too, because I think it's just, I think it's a way that women have been wired and have been taught about what manhood looks like and what a man should be to her. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have that level of respect for the man or the woman, but I'm saying this from a woman's perspective, then later on that's going to be a problem in the marriage, because that's why you get so many women trying to tell him what to do. See, this is what you need to do. So when you go in there, say this, and when you go up there, do this, and it's like, why are you trying to son your man?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not how you talk to another adult person.
Right.
You see?
And most men that are traditional real men, they're not gonna go for that.
Yeah, they're not gonna go. But again, this is what I'm saying, that piece, because even though you may feel like you're not going for that, it may be a blind spot that you don't see that's what's happening, because you may feel like this woman is trying to help you, because that's the way your mama used to do it. And my mama used to tell me that's how my mama talked to me. She said, do this, do whatever.
That's why your daddy needs to be around.
But it's a lot of daddies that ain't around. So
I'm saying that most guys that have grown up and understand, like, you can tell if somebody trying to son you. You know that. And that's where that could be one of those issues where you begin to butt heads, because it's like,
and that's what
you can feel that energy too. Like, even
though
I know that you love me and you might be trying to help me, you still can't talk to me like that.
Right. And so I'm saying later on in the relationship, it'll become an issue that it wasn't before, because it's just, she's just being helpful, you know. But then
but helpful and sunny have different energies.
But I'm saying in the beginning of a relationship, though, you may not see it that way. Again, that's a blind spot. Based on what you asked me, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that sometimes the woman doesn't see that she may be losing respect, or she really doesn't have the level of respect that she needs to have for him. And he may not see that the way that she is with him is because he feels like she's being a woman and she's being helpful, but it could be coming from a different place because of something that he's dealt with, or a deficit that he had in his life.
I see.
Just like a woman may think this man is coming in trying to be all of these things for her, but she doesn't realize he's trying to control her, because she doesn't know. She never had a daddy. She don't know how a man's supposed to treat a woman. So she might just think That's protection. This is what protection looks like to me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I can speak to this because we dealt with some of this stuff early on in our relationship because my dad wasn't around. I knew who my dad was, but he wasn't there in my life. He left when I was 5, and then it was just kind of like in and out, but I didn't live with him, and I didn't see him and my mom model, what marriage looks like. How you supposed to talk to a man, and how a man cultivates his family, and how he protects them in love and lovingly leads and not tries to control you and tell you what you can and can't do. And, this is how it's going to be. Now, sometimes those are blind spots that came from our domestication.
Absolutely.
Well, you finna do some
comments. Mika said, rationalize the ability to pivot. Women trying to son their man. Y'all are jumping on some fire.
Thank you, Mika.
And then we got Villa Cooler in the house. What's going on? Cam, what's up, bro? We go back, way back. Thank you for joining us tonight, brother.
Cam, I have heard some stories. I have heard the Cam stories. You was the man.
That was the homie right there. That's the homie for sure. We go back we go back to elementary school.
Y'all go back.
Yeah. Villa Cooler. Shout out.
I done seen the pictures. So I know it's true.
Yeah, so where you finished with your point?
I was just because I was answering your question.
Okay.
I think those are some of the other areas that we have blind spots, from domestication and things like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let me think.
I think too. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
This is kind of it's on topic, but it's a little bit off topic.
Come on.
When it comes to blind spots with sex.
Oh.
And I'm saying that because sometimes we think that because people think, because praise the Lord, we don't have that issue no more. But sometimes people think when you're not having sex, there's a problem with the sex itself. And most of the time,
let me go ahead. I'm listening.
And most of the time, that's just the barometer or the metric stick to show you that there's a problem somewhere else that we don't see.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So
it's not the sex itself per se.
Right.
It's the other
whatever
stuff
it is that we maybe swept under the rug. It's
having a ripple effect.
And then it's making, because you was tripping, the sex just ain't good. It ain't good no more. Or it's not good right now based on these other things that haven't been addressed, and you may not be able to see what that is. So that could be a blind spot. So I would say if you are having some issues in the bedroom, in the boudoir, then it may be because there are some other issues that are at play that need to be addressed, which will then translate to what go on in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that all started outside the bedroom
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Yes, indeed.
The blind spot for a man could be she might need your help.
That right there.
You see what I'm saying? That's a blind spot.
That's true.
Don't think, just because you go to work every day that your wife don't need no help when you get home. I tell my son and I teach my son, we stay on this.
Stay on the clock.
We on the clock. You don't get no off days being no man. You don't get no none of that. You know what I'm saying?
And if you do that, I don't care. There ain't no woman. And if you with one and this don't touch her and make her want to lean into you and be appreciative to you, and then maybe you got to look a little, maybe it's like, okay, well, maybe this woman just ain't like this about me. Because any woman, you see a man that went to work all day, then he come home and he's still trying to be, engaging. He's still trying to be helpful. And he's still, granted you have your cave time, you go decompress or whatever, but then you jumping in there trying to help me. I'm going to do the same for you. I'm going to reciprocate that same energy.
All day. That's the only way your marriage is going to make it.
And I know that if I'm reciprocating that for you, it's not going to be in the same way. It may not be bathing the kids and helping with the homework and cooking a meal or picking up some food. Reciprocity for you may be you get some tonight. Yeah. Because that's what
reciprocal to me. Then.
Because that was because that's what speaks to you and what you need.
That's real talk.
And I'm just saying, like, sometimes those blind spots are like you're telling him you don't help me, and he's saying, yes, I do. And I'm telling you that you don't help me. Ask her, what does that look like?
What is help? What does she need help? Like, yeah, I did came in and I put my cigarettes in the trash. That ain't help. And that's why you have to communicate and ask, what can I do? How can I help you? What area? Because you know me. You know me.
Right.
What area, because you know me, can I help you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because,
absolutely.
Because what you may have me do may not be something that I may be good at doing.
Right.
So give me something to do that I can really help you. That's gonna help you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
let me hit a couple of these comments real quick. Cam said, "Already proud of y'all. Appreciate that, bro." Cam. And then Facebook user said, "Every day, no days off." Absolutely. Already.
And that goes for both parties. It is what it is. You're not there's no part-time husband or part-time wife or part-time mom or part-time daddy. There are some people who have that luxury, but it ain't real.
We used to take our kids on our staycation sometimes.
We had to start doing 2 vacations, like a weekend with the kids and then something for just us. Because sometimes you don't have nobody to help to babysit. The time just ain't ain't working out.
It just didn't work. But when I say no days off, I'm saying as being the head, being the leader, you don't get that luxury. You always protecting and providing.
Right.
When we go out, we on vacation and we get to eat, and your family just sitting there eating. You walking around, you looking in the building. Okay, I'm thinking, okay, where's the exit? If I gotta grab her and go this way and do this, and you always watching, like it's been said, your head is on a swivel all the time. You always looking. Okay, what they ain't paying attention that the man came in with the with the trench coat on in the middle of the summer, and you like, okay, now I gotta see that there's 2 exits. We can go this way. I can roll up under the table and come out with a butter knife and go to stabbing. You always thinking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So when I say that, that's what
you've been teaching me about. Being more aware of my surroundings.
Yeah.
My son is the same way. He's very on guard because you taught him that. But it's just something that you got to absolutely do that. But yeah, so and that could be a blind spot too. You ain't looking out like you need to be looking out.
Yeah.
And she could be saying, I want you to, and it's hard to say this without it sounding some type of way. I want you to step up more. You know what I'm saying? And again, in those little issues, those little scenarios like that where you can't speak up as a man, then as a woman, you do start to lose respect. Like you can't even speak up and say whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like you're leaving me to be the forerunner or the front runner for this relationship, but then you want me to treat you like king. That ain't king behavior.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
If you the CEO, if you the head, you running the thing, you got to take all of it. You don't just get the rewards. You take because guess what? If it don't work, I thought you was the man. I thought you was the CEO. And so much of the narrative that's being given out to these younger guys nowadays is they want to point the finger at the women. But I thought you was the leader. I thought you was the man. I thought, that you handled everything and you did everything. But it's like you chose that woman.
Right.
You chose that woman. So if it ain't working, that's on you, bro.
Right.
That's on you.
And you can't
be mad at her. That's real man talk right there. You can't
be mad at her. And it even says in the Bible, I need to learn this scripture by heart because I say it all the time, but it says in the word that do not be resentful to your wife
that you chose
because of the responsibility that comes along with being a husband. He didn't even say that to the women. He don't even say that in the Bible. But it says it in the word to men, specific to husbands. Don't be resentful toward this woman
that you chose.
That's
what it says, that you chose.
Because of the responsibility that comes with being a husband.
And
it's the same thing as being a parent.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes the women, we may not get that, but you think about as a mother, how I'm going to be mad at them because I got to provide room and board and shelter, and I got to make sure they
nurture
eat,
them and all that.
Let them cry and go to these recitals, but I'm mad at you. But I didn't tell you to have me. That's what you chose.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right. Ty Shaw in the building. What's up?
Ty.
What's up, director?
You see me looking at you.
Director.
Dean.
Pardon me. Dean, sir.
Dean of Fine Arts. Okay. We are unworthy.
He said, boy, now y'all on something. What in the world is the day off? Non-existent. Preach, Johnson.
Amen.
Real talk.
Thank you, Ty. I'm still sad. It's so bittersweet. I hate to see you go. Tears.
Yeah, but I think we did pretty good
I think
tonight.
that was the quickest 54 minutes in the whole wide world.
55 minutes. I guess we can leave it open for some questions for the next few minutes.
Yes.
Go ahead and fill the space real quick because I'm going to pull something up real quick to show y'all.
But so when it comes to what we talking about, see yourself, and this is one thing that I say all the time. You don't see yourself. I tell my kids this all the time. You don't see yourself, do you? You just don't see it. They be like, well, mama, do you see yourself? And I'm like, okay, well, tell me something about myself that I need to see, because I definitely want to always be with anything with a leader. What's the first thing you need to do is be a servant. Anytime you have a supervisor, a manager, or anybody, you always want to see them in the trenches with you. Like, don't be just throwing out all this stuff to me, but then I don't see you doing anything to make yourself, to hold yourself accountable, or to put me, or to show me that we're in the same, what's the word? Basically we're in the same boat. Like you can relate to what I'm saying. Like there's not anything I'm going to tell you to do that I haven't first done, or that I'm not going to be willing to do. And that's a problem if you are doing it. Don't. And I tell, even with Jordan, I tell him this all the time. When it comes to women, one of the biggest things that we look for is consistency. That piece right there, consistent. It ain't even about your persistence. Like, dudes want to be like, I gotta be persistent. I gotta keep pursuing her. I gotta keep, it's about the consistency. When we do get together, when we do link, when we do connect, are you the same person? Are you saying the same things, or do you switch up for company? Are you, front to kick it? Like, did you say you love the Lord yesterday, but then today he's talking about, oh, it's the sun, the moon, and the earth? Like, okay, well, see, that to me, you don't really respect somebody who is inconsistent. Mm-hmm. The one thing you hear a lot of women say, oh, she too wishy-washy for me. You too wishy-washy. You're switching up on me. I don't know who I'm gonna get today. Nobody wants to be around a person like that. And granted, we all have our moods, and we all have, those moments and feelings. You may not be the happiest person at that particular time, but you still, to your core, are the same. That's the piece that's the most vital and the most paramount, is knowing that you are, to your core, organically, authentically, who you say you're gonna be. If you're trying to, be cohesive and make your relationship long lasting, that you guys can withstand the ages and stages of life and marriage.
You did that, girl.
Appreciate you.
So look, y'all, if nobody have no questions, I'm gonna just tell y'all, next week, y'all do not want to miss Marriage is Real, because we have a very, very special, renowned guest.
They do.
That's going to be joining us next week. It's going to be lit. She is so much fun. She is so amazing. Yes. And I'm just going to.
It's my girl. It's my girl.
It's your person. It's my person. It's our person. Hey, Nikki.
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you for joining us. Nikki. Congratulations.
Yes. You look so beautiful. Everybody can't wear it like you did. Like you do, girl. You wear that pregnancy beautifully.
So listen, y'all. Next week.
Yes, we'll have none other than Lakia Brandenburg, better known as LB. She'll be with us next week for, I don't even remember what the topic is. Do you? I don't even know what the topic is.
I'm going to wait for the topic, but I'm going to just show y'all her picture. This is going to be joining us. The wife coach is going to be joining us next week. LB, the wife coach, is going to be in the building with Marriage is Real. She is amazing. She actually sits on the board with us for Friends with Rings. Mm-hmm. She is a sister from another mister, and she is fun and funny, and we are going to have a great time.
Y'all are going to love her.
Absolutely. Share it. Be ready next Tuesday at 8:30 Central Standard Time. She's going to be in the building, and we're going to have a great time.
Absolutely.
With Miss LB, the wife coach. We got a question. Let's hit this. Let's see what they say. Where do y'all recommend I find someone to be with forever? I mean, bro, now people finding folks on the internet.
Man,
They be
for
finding folks, they be
real.
getting married and everything like that. But you can't go wrong with God.
I think the biggest piece is just in you continuing to be your authentic self and
Yeah.
staying in your place, in your position.
Right.
As far as like a tangible, actual place, I don't know, because I don't go nowhere. I just be at the house, man. I'm so sorry, Kim. I don't know what to tell. I don't know about a place, but I think in you know, like right now, we have so many more opportunities to meet
Right.
people with social media. So many more opportunities. And of course, you can't judge a book by its cover, because sometimes what you see is not what you get. But that's when you do your homework and you build camaraderie, and because we have met some amazing people
That we've never met in person.
Facebook,
still.
but then we also met some people in person that we met online.
Yep.
Just from doing this. And there's some really good friends of ours, you
Right.
know. So you can't discount it no more. This is the age, this is the stage that the age that we live in.
Yeah.
The age of
Just
the internet age.
Man, you can meet somebody at the Waffle House. I mean, it's just about, I think until that happens, and I think, from a spiritual perspective, is just making your request known. And after you've done that, when you prayed about that, just continue working on being your best self.
Mm-hmm.
And when that time comes, and if that's the desire, because if God gave you the desire to find someone to share your forever with, there's someone out there that He's preparing for you as well.
Absolutely.
So that's when we have to do the self work and do the things that we need to do. So when that person comes on the scene and presents themselves, that we're ready to receive them.
Absolutely. That's good, baby.
Thank you, love. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you,
y'all.
Facebook user.
Well, thank y'all so much
Thank
for
y'all for
joining us
tuning
again
in.
for another night of Marriage
Go
Monday on
follow
Tuesday.
Marriage is Real. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel, please. And go like our Facebook group.
Marriage Monday on Tuesday. We
On
love
Tuesday.
y'all.
Thank y'all so much.
And Trey.
Y'all have a good night. We love you.
Swap on the track right here.